Imagine a single realization so profound, so fundamentally contradictory to everything you thought you knew, that it literally forces your physical brain structure to evolve. This is not hyperbole or spiritual conjecture. This is the reality of true paradigm shifts, where the neurological architecture built over decades suddenly crumbles and rebuilds itself in real time. We are speaking about a specific quantum truth, a realization about the interconnectedness and non-linear nature of reality, which acts as a universal solvent, dissolving the limiting beliefs encoded deeply within your neural pathways and replacing them with limitless potential. This shift is rapid, permanent, and entirely irreversible. For most of your life, your brain has functioned as an exceptionally efficient prediction machine, operating primarily on classical Newtonian physics, cause and effect, separation, and linear progression. This framework is robust for survival, but utterly inadequate for comprehending the vast potentiality of the universe. When the true quantum mechanics of consciousness are introduced, when you see yourself not as a fixed product of your past, but as a constant observer collapsing infinite fields of energy, the system crashes, initiating an emergency reboot designed for higher performance. This neurological upgrade begins when you confront the ultimate illusion, the illusion of separation. Once, your conscious mind processes the energetic reality that every event, every thought, and every physical manifestation is woven into a single, cohesive quantum field. The restrictive bandwidth of linear thinking snaps. You move from merely existing within the universe to actively generating your reality from the inside out, leveraging forces of abundance and flow that were previously invisible to your limited perception. This is the moment your life stops being a reaction and starts becoming a deliberate creation. We're about to walk through the exact steps of this transformation, detailing how powerful insight triggers neuroplasticity and locks in new, expansive neural circuits. To anchor this experience in the physical reality you currently inhabit, tell us your city in the comments below, letting us know where in the world this transformation is beginning for you. Prepare your mind. We invite you to stay with us until the very end, because once you see this truth, there is no going back to the way you were. The human brain is fundamentally designed for efficiency and safety, preferring well-trodden, familiar pathways, even if those paths lead to mediocrity or suffering. These established pathways, known as neural circuits, represent your core beliefs, the bedrock of your perceived reality. When an incoming piece of information aligns with these established circuits, the information is processed smoothly and reinforces the status quo. However, a profound quantum truth does the opposite. It acts like an electromagnetic pulse to the system, generating such intense cognitive dissonance that the brain cannot merely file it away. It must address the fundamental contradiction. A deeply held belief, often formed in childhood and reinforced by cultural conditioning, holds the brain's architecture in place, defining the limits of what is possible. When a truth, such as the reality of instant manifestation or energetic non-locality, directly assaults this core belief system, the brain enters a temporary state of crisis. This crisis is the gateway to neuroplasticity. The sheer necessity of integrating this information forces the immediate pruning of old, restrictive synaptic connections, effectively tearing down the walls of the intellectual prison you built around yourself. This rapid deconstruction is the first sign of profound psychological evolution. The intensity required to trigger this instant neurological change must be emotional, not just intellectual. You must not simply understand the quantum truth. You must feel the truth of your interconnectedness in your core. The moment the intellect yields to the expansive feeling of infinite possibility, high-frequency gamma waves flood the prefrontal cortex, signifying a massive increase in synchronized neural firing. This burst of holistic processing creates a superhighway between previously isolated regions of the brain, forging new high-bandwidth connections capable of handling complex, non-linear information that your old fragmented brain simply couldn't comprehend. This journey requires committed observation and dedication to the highest potential of your consciousness. If you are ready to witness the complete collapse of limiting beliefs and step into the vastness of quantum reality, please take a moment right now and subscribe to the channel. Join our community of explorers who are actively rewriting their neurological destiny and embracing the infinite energy available to them. The energetic signature of a paradigm shift is unmistakable within the brain. It's a chaotic yet focused storm of electrical activity. Researchers observe a phenomenon where the brain, trying to make sense of the overwhelming insight, increases its metabolic rate exponentially in specific areas associated with self-awareness and transcendent experience. It's as if the system suddenly realizes it has been running on outdated software, and the urgency to update overrides all standard protocols, forcing the creation of stronger, faster, and more integrated neural networks designed to reflect the vastness of the universe you now perceive yourself to be part of. What distinguishes these life-altering truths from mere facts is their capacity to redefine self-identity. When the truth you encounter suggests you are not merely a tiny, fragile organism, but an inseparable field of consciousness influencing matter, the neural network responsible for self-perception must instantaneously expand. The dendrites stretch and connect to encompass this new, larger definition of self, linking the localized experience of you to the infinite field of potential, thereby dismantling the chronic stress response that separation consciousness perpetuates. This sudden expansion is accompanied by a dramatic reduction in activity in the default mode network, DMN, the area associated with self-referential rumination, worry about the past, and anxiety about the future. When the mind is liberated from the linear, narrative-driven framework, the DMN quiets down. This allows the brain's processing power to be redirected toward conscious creation and present moment awareness, proving that the realization of a quantum truth is fundamentally a move away from fear and toward profound mental clarity and abundance. The physical act of forming new synapses is an energy-intensive process, demanding high levels of specialized proteins and neurotransmitters. When the shock of a quantum truth hits, the body's chemistry responds by flooding the system with learning-enhancing compounds like dopamine and acetylcholine, signaling to the neurons that this specific piece of information must be prioritized and locked in immediately. This biological mechanism ensures that the transformative truth bypasses the filtering mechanisms of the ego, cementing its place in the long-term memory and identity structure. It is crucial to understand that the brain is not passive in this process. It actively seeks congruence. The discomfort of holding a massive truth that contradicts decades of conditioning is so severe that the brain's priority shifts from efficiency to coherence. To regain internal harmony, it must either reject the truth, the easy path, or rapidly restructure its entire internal map of reality, the transformative path. The sheer emotional and intellectual weight of this particular quantum insight forces the latter, initiating an irreversible, powerful cognitive restructuring. For millennia, human thought has been confined within the strict geometry of linear time and space, assuming that reality progresses in a straightforward A to B sequence. This linear thinking is fundamentally Newtonian, based on billiard ball physics, where every action has a predictable, localized reaction. This construct is comfortable because it implies control, but it is ultimately a severe limitation on your experience of the universe. The quantum perspective shatters this framework by demonstrating that reality is fundamentally non-linear, existing in a state of simultaneous possibilities, superposition, until observed. The difficulty the brain initially faces is that it must transition from understanding things to understanding potential fields. Classical thinking deals with definite particles in definite locations. Quantum truth forces the mind to grapple with waves of probability, where the object or the outcome you desire exists everywhere and nowhere at once until the specific frequency of your attention collapses wave function into a localized reality. The brain struggles because its filing system is based on location and chronology, not infinite potentiality. When you internalize the observer effect, the core quantum truth that consciousness actively participates in determining reality. The linear chain of cause and effect breaks. You realize your past is not creating your future. Rather, your energetic signature in the present is collapsing the future potentiality from a field of infinite outcomes. This realization dissolves the perceived weight of history, freeing the brain from the limiting loop of "I am who I was." It shifts identity from a historical document to a moment-to-moment energetic decree. This radical shift requires the brain to activate latent processing centers capable of simultaneous high-dimensional processing. The quantum mind understands that separation is an illusion of the macroscopic world, and that fundamentally all particles, all energy, are entangled. If two particles remain linked regardless of distance, your conscious intention, which is pure focused energy, must also be instantaneously linked to the desired outcome in the physical world, transcending spatial limitations. This integration of entanglement fundamentally redefines proximity in your mental map. The initial neurological response to this non-linearity is a brief but intense moment of disorientation, a vertigo of the mind. All the established rules for navigating reality suddenly vanish. Your brain, designed to predict the next step, finds itself facing infinite possibilities at every single moment. This disorientation is temporary and is swiftly followed by a sense of profound liberation, where the stress circuits associated with fear of the unknown deactivate, replaced by the excited circuits of infinite potential and creative abundance. The integration of the quantum framework fundamentally alters how you perceive the relationship between thought and matter. Linear thinking treated thoughts as internal, fluffy, and separate from the hard reality of objects. The quantum perspective reveals thought as pure electromagnetic energy, a focused frequency capable of directly interacting with and organizing the quantum substrata of reality. Your brain begins to treat conscious intention not as hope, but as a directed energetic command that immediately shifts the probability field of the universe. To accommodate this vast new framework, the brain starts prioritizing pattern recognition over localized detail. It moves from focusing on the individual trees to seeing the forest as an energetic entity, recognizing the universal organizing principles, the signs that govern creation. This enhanced pattern recognition capability is what leads to sudden synchronicities and manifestations, as your mind is now tuned to the fundamental frequencies of the universe, operating at the energetic level rather than the limiting physical level. Furthermore, the understanding of non-linearity eradicates the concept of waiting for success. The quantum mind understands that if the desired reality is already existing in a state of superposition, the only gap between the current experience and the desired one is the frequency gap of the observer. This realization triggers immediate neural pathways associated with self-efficacy and empowerment, because the focus shifts entirely from external effort, linear, to internal alignment, quantum. This new neurological alignment results in a shift from reactive problem-solving to proactive creation. Since the brain no longer needs to predict dangers based on past data, because the future is now perceived as a fluid, observable potential, it dedicates its vast processing resources to coherence and intentional frequency setting. This fundamentally changes the brain's energetic output, turning it from a processor of incoming trauma into a massive transmitter of creative, expansive energy. Conscious awareness is the mechanism through which transient philosophical understanding is cemented into permanent neurological infrastructure. Many people grasp complex ideas intellectually, yet their lives remain unchanged because the awareness never reached the depth required to initiate structural physical changes in the brain. Awareness in this context is not merely paying attention. It is sustained, focused observation that holds a contradiction or a new truth in the light of consciousness until the old system buckles. When you use focused awareness to examine the true nature of your thoughts and feelings, observing them as transient energy rather than identity, you initiate the critical process of myelinogenesis. Myelin is the fatty sheath that wraps around neuronal axons. accelerating the speed and efficiency of electrical signal transmission. By consistently directing conscious awareness toward the expansive quantum truth, you are actively myelinating the new neural pathways, making them the fastest and most preferred routes for future thought and perception. The act of sustained awareness directs the brain's resources specifically to the newly forming circuits. The brain is economical. Pathways that are not used regularly weaken and are pruned away. Use it or lose it. When the quantum truth is held in high awareness, the brain is forced to repeatedly fire the new, non-linear circuits. This repetition, fueled by emotional insight, ensures that the new pathways transition from fragile temporary connections to robust default mechanisms of thought. The sheer volume of energy dedicated to this new understanding solidifies the learning instantly. What has been your deepest, most recent realization about the true nature of reality that made you pause and question everything? Share your insight in the comments below. Your reflections inspire the collective energy of this community and help cement the learning process for all of us. Furthermore, genuine awareness disrupts the habitual firing patterns of the old, restrictive self. The previous limits were automatic. Thoughts of unworthiness or fear of failure fired automatically, requiring no conscious input. Once the light of awareness is shone upon these patterns, they lose their energetic autonomy. The constant, focused observation of the quantum truth acts as an intentional feedback loop, signaling to the brain that the old fear-based programs are obsolete and must be downgraded or deleted entirely. This permanent rewiring is directly facilitated by the increase in brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, often called fertilizer for the brain. Intense, focused awareness that carries the high emotional charge of awe or revelation boosts BDNF levels. This growth factor actively encourages the sprouting of new dendrites, the branches of the neuron, creating greater connectivity and complexity. You are physically building a more sophisticated mind, one capable of processing multidimensional reality and maximizing your potential for abundance. The quantum truth demands that your awareness remain in the present moment, because that is the only point where the wave function collapses and reality is manifest. As your awareness anchors itself in the now, the neural circuits responsible for rumination about past trauma or speculative anxiety about the future gradually atrophy. The physical structure of your brain shifts from being primarily a storage and retrieval system of history to an active processing unit dedicated to conscious creation in the eternal present. This profound integration means the expanded awareness can never truly shrink back to its previous size. Once the conscious mind has witnessed the full scope of its own power and its inseparable link to the universe, the old framework of separation feels restrictive, slow, and illogical. The brain cannot efficiently navigate life using old, slow pathways when it has constructed superspeed fiber optic connections dedicated to the new, faster, more accurate reality of the quantum field. The permanence of the change is guaranteed by the brain's aversion to incoherence. Trying to revert to the old belief system after integrating a quantum truth is like trying to convince yourself the sky is green after clearly seeing its blueness. The memory of the truth creates an undeniable cognitive dissonance with the lie. Sustained, expanded awareness thus acts as a self-monitoring mechanism, preventing backsliding and forcing continuous alignment with the newly established expansive reality, securing the permanent cognitive shift. The intellectual understanding of a quantum truth is fragile. It is the accompanying emotional shock, the profound awe, surprise, or even temporary cognitive terror that acts as the biological superglue, locking the new neural pathways into permanence. When a deep realization strikes, the limbic system, the brain's emotional center, floods the entire neurological network with potent neuromodulators that mark the event as highly significant, demanding immediate storage and priority processing. The strongest catalyst for this instant lock-in is the emotion of awe. When you realize that the energy of the universe is literally responsive to your focused intention, the sheer scale of the revelation triggers an immediate physical lowering of the heart rate and a synchronization between the heart and brainwave patterns. This coherent state, rich in neurochemicals like oxytocin and vasopressin, signals to the brain that the incoming data is critical to survival and expansion, immediately accelerating the growth factors needed for synapse formation. Cognitive dissonance, the uncomfortable mental stress arising from holding two contradictory beliefs simultaneously, is a necessary precursor to this lock-in. Before the truth is fully integrated, the brain feels the painful strain of the conflict between "I am limited" and "I am infinite potential." The brain seeks the fastest route out of this uncomfortable state, and the most efficient resolution is the total collapse of the weaker, outdated belief. The emotional relief that follows the collapse of the old paradigm locks in the new, coherent quantum truth with immense emotional strength. This intense emotional labeling ensures that the truth is stored as an indelible high-priority memory, distinct from mundane facts. If the realization merely occurred during casual reading, it would be forgotten. But because the brain perceives this profound insight as an emotional, existential event, a moment of ultimate revelation about its place in the energetic cosmos, it treats the information as critical knowledge that must be safeguarded and integrated into the core operating system of the self, fundamentally altering future response mechanisms to stress and opportunity. Fear, surprisingly, also plays a paradoxical role. The fear is not of the new truth itself, but the existential fear of having been wrong for so long, the fear of separation that the quantum truth dismantles. When the brain finally realizes that the source of fear, separation, was an illusion, the massive energy previously dedicated to anxiety is released instantaneously. This relief creates an enormous surge of dopamine, chemically reinforcing the new pathway as the source of profound psychological safety and aligning the brain with abundance rather than lack. The biological mechanism involves the amygdala, the brain's alarm center. When the magnitude of the quantum truth hits, the amygdala fires intensely, but instead of coding the event as danger, the context provided by the neocortex codes it as profound importance. This unique emotional tagging combination, high intensity combined with positive meaning, ensures the information avoids the short-term memory filter and goes directly to the hippocampus for permanent integration, where it fundamentally alters autobiographical memory and self-concept. This instant lock-in means that subsequent encounters with the old limiting paradigm feel emotionally jarring and incorrect. The mind now has a powerful, emotionally charged benchmark against which to measure all future thoughts and external stimuli. Any deviation from the quantum truth, such as limiting thoughts about money or relationship potential, is flagged instantly by the system as incoherent, creating immediate corrective cognitive action without the previous struggle. The sustained resonance of awe transforms the brain's default emotional frequency. Before the realization, the default setting might have been mild anxiety or resignation. Post-integration, the default setting shifts toward a deep, unshakable sense of inherent security and connection. This change in emotional baseline chemically promotes the ongoing maintenance and strengthening of the new, higher-frequency neural circuits, ensuring the continuous flow of positive emotions essential for leveraging the creative power of the universe. In essence, the emotional shock acts as the final, massive energy input required to crystallize the abstract idea into physical, neurological structure. Without the awe and cognitive rush, the truth remains a theory. With the emotional intensity, it becomes an undeniable, felt reality that redefines the observer's relationship to energy, time, and potential, making the new pathway functionally superior and instantly dominant. The moment the quantum truth locks into place, your external reality begins to reflect the internal shift, often manifesting through subtle but profound changes in your daily experience. These are the undeniable signs that your neurological structure has successfully upgraded and that you are now operating from a higher bandwidth of consciousness. One of the most common and powerful indicators is an altered perception of time. The linear clock time, chronos, begins to lose its grip, replaced by an awareness of quantum time, kairos, or opportune moments. Because the brain is no longer obsessively tracking the past or future, time often feels fluid, slowing down during moments of intense presence and speeding up during periods of high flow state. You find yourself effortlessly in the right place at the right time as your perception aligns with the energetic rhythm of the universe. A second major sign is the dramatic reduction in fear-based thinking. Since the quantum truth dismantles the illusion of separation, the deep existential fear of lack, loss, and vulnerability dissipates. Your brain no longer defaults to worst-case scenarios. Instead, it defaults to the certainty of infinite potential. When challenges arise, the mental response is no longer panic, but curious observation of the energetic pattern, because you know your intention is the dominant force. Your capacity for mental clarity increases exponentially. The noise generated by the constant internal debate and rumination disappears, replaced by a quiet certainty. Decisions are made quickly and intuitively, bypassing the need for endless analytical processing, because the brain now trusts its coherent connection to the greater field of knowing. This clarity allows for focused, high-leverage actions that accelerate the manifestation of abundance in your life. If you recognize these shifts beginning to occur in your own life, acknowledge the transformation by commenting the keyword quantum shift below. This is a powerful declaration that seals the transformation. Another profound indicator is the recalibration of your emotional response to external events. Previously, your happiness might have been conditional upon external validation or specific outcomes. Now you experience a baseline level of deep internal peace that is impervious to temporary chaos. This non-reactive state is a direct result of the brain's recognition that all perceived external chaos is merely a wave in the field of potential, which you, the observer, ultimately control. You will also notice a powerful increase in synchronicities. Synchronicities are not random. They are the feedback mechanism of the universe confirming your alignment with the quantum field. As your brain operates on a coherent, high-frequency signal, your focused intention, the universe responds by organizing physical reality to match that frequency. These constant signs become the new normal, signaling that you are leveraging the true energetic architecture of reality. Relationships often undergo a rapid transformation. Those relationships based on codependency, manipulation, or fear either dissolve naturally or elevate to a level of profound, unconditional connection. Your expanded awareness means you can no longer tolerate low-frequency interactions, and your elevated energetic signature naturally attracts people and opportunities who operate at the same level of self-mastery and abundance. Physical sensations related to energy become more pronounced. You may feel more sensitive to the energy fields of others, experience bursts of energy or intuition in your body, or notice rapid healing processes. This heightened energetic sensitivity is a direct result of the neural system running on higher voltage, a coherence that allows for a clearer, unfiltered communication between your consciousness and the universal life force. There is a permanent shift in your identity, from being a receiver of circumstances to a deliberate transmitter of creative energy. You no longer ask, "What will happen to me?" but rather, "What reality shall I observe and call forth?" This realization fundamentally rewrites the neural self-concept, anchoring your identity not in your history or physical form, but in your infinite potential as a conscious quantum observer. Finally, the most conclusive sign is the complete inability to worry about the future in the old way. Because the mind has integrated the non-linear truth of potentiality, trying to worry feels nonsensical, like attempting to walk backward when forward is effortless. The old fear circuits have been permanently deactivated, replaced by a confident, unwavering faith in the energetic laws of the universe and your place within them. The term unsee implies a possibility of returning to a state of previous ignorance, but when a truth fundamentally about the self and the universe is integrated at the level of neurological structure, the old reality ceases to exist as a viable option. Once the mind expands to comprehend the sheer scale of the quantum field and its relationship to consciousness, the old mental model, which operated on limitation and separation, becomes cognitively unusable. It's not just forgotten, it is rendered obsolete and energetically unworkable. The collapse of the old mental model is a physical phenomenon. The neural pathways associated with the Newtonian, linear worldview were sustained by constant use and reinforcement. When the brain creates the more efficient, expansive quantum pathways, it prioritizes the new system. The old, slower, fear-based circuits suffer rapid pruning due to lack of use. Trying to revert to the old belief system would require a massive, energy-intensive effort to rebuild pathways that the brain has already deemed unnecessary for optimal function. The integrated quantum truth becomes the new baseline reality, a core assumption upon which all subsequent thought is built. For example, once you deeply grasp that your thoughts are energy that creates reality, you can no longer structure your life around passive waiting. Every thought, every feeling is now tagged as a creative act. The brain cannot logically generate fear-based narratives when the foundational premise of its operating system is infinite potential and interconnectedness, making the old ways of thinking incoherent and unsustainable. If this understanding of permanent transformation resonates with the deepest part of your being, please show your support and like this video now. Your interaction helps push this critical truth to others who are ready to experience their own profound neurological shift. The brain maintains coherence above all else. Before the quantum truth, the brain's coherence was built around linear prediction and safety. After the realization, coherence is achieved through alignment with the quantum field. The principles of abundance, non-locality, and infinite potential. Attempting to think small or fearfully creates immediate, uncomfortable cognitive friction because it contradicts the established, high-coherence state, acting as a strong self-correction mechanism. The memory of the realization itself is too powerful to be overridden. Because the experience was locked in with intense emotional energy and rapid neuroplasticity, it resides in the deepest parts of your identity. It is a defining moment, a psychological and spiritual birth that informs every subsequent perception. Trying to deny this truth would be akin to trying to deny your own memory of standing up for the first time. It is a fundamental marker of evolution. The inability to unsee the truth is further reinforced by the constant, undeniable feedback from the universe, the synchronicities and manifestations that validate the new framework. The old framework offered only struggle and limited outcomes. The new framework offers immediate, tangible signs of creative power. The brain, being a mechanism that favors success and efficiency, will naturally choose and reinforce the path that yields superior, measurable results in terms of clarity and abundance. This profound integration means the old mental loops of self-sabotage are functionally disabled. The neural pathways that once led to procrastination or self-doubt are cut off as the mind recognizes these patterns as incompatible with the reality of being an infinite creator. The transformation creates a neurological barrier that prevents the mind from accessing the lower vibrational states with the same ease it once did. The quantum truth remaps your entire definition of self-identity and purpose. Once you realize you are an energetic fractal of the universe with infinite creative power, your mission transcends mere survival. Your brain now operates from a sense of purpose aligned with the universe's expansion. Returning to a small, fear-driven identity is physically and emotionally impossible because the neurological infrastructure required for that limited existence has been repurposed for higher service and creative mastery. We have explored the profound, irreversible journey your brain undertakes when confronted with the quantum truth of your existence. The fundamental understanding that you are not a passive recipient of circumstances, but the active observer collapsing infinite potentials into manifest reality. This is not a philosophy to be debated. It is an energetic framework that, once adopted, permanently alters your neural landscape, accelerating your capacity for self-mastery, abundance, and spiritual depth. The permanent changes, the enhanced neuroplasticity, the coherence of awareness, the integration of non-linear thinking, and the emotional locking mechanisms mean that the fear-based, linear model of reality has been superseded. You have literally transcended the limitations of your past self, utilizing the power of conscious observation to build a neurological home capable of sustaining infinite possibility. This shift enables you to effortlessly navigate the flow of the universe, responding to life from a place of radical certainty and creative power. The truth is integrated. The structural change is complete. Your mind is now tuned to the frequency of creation. The only remaining task is to live from this new, undeniable reality, leveraging your expanded awareness daily. The universe is waiting for your next intentional command. Now, take a deep breath and reflect. How has this quantum understanding immediately shifted your perception of your current challenges? And what is the first area of your life, be it health, wealth, or relationships, where you will intentionally apply this newly integrated consciousness for immediate change? Share your thoughts below. If you value this journey of expansion and want to continue exploring the deeper truths of consciousness, make sure you are subscribed and have the notification bell turned on so you never miss the next critical piece of insight that will help you redefine your reality.